Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tom. I am an Open University student, and in today's video I'm going to talk about iCMAs. First of all, I want to say a big thank you to Emma, whose comment made me be able to do this video. Basically, she asked for more information on tutorials and iCMAs. The last video was about tutorials. I might do one more in the future, because if you have watched that, you'll know that I don't have access to the software that they use. I went through a picture and basically explained what it was like. So in the future I might do one more video on it when I've actually got access to it. Right now I do have access to some of my next module's content, but I won't have access to tutorial rooms until the 5th of October when it officially starts. So I might do one in the future. That is also the same for iCMAs, although I can see when it's due and everything, I can't actually access the iCMA, so I can't go through and show what an iCMA is like. However, I wanted to get this done before the year started, so you guys have got the most opportunity to come to grips with what everything is. iCMAs probably are the most different type of questions, type of assessment. TMAs, the tutor mark assessments, end module assessments, and exams are pretty straightforward, and I think a lot of people will fully understand what they are before even going into them. You know, it's typically just a set of questions of either practical or written, and you do that. iCMAs are slightly different. iCMAs stand for Interactive Computer Marked Assignments. They come in various types of questions. Sometimes you might get only 10 different questions, sometimes you might get over 20 questions, and the type of questions you get can vary from question to question. Some are multiple choice questions where you would have a question and have several choices to pick from, and you might have to pick the one correct answer, or maybe it's the couple. Sometimes it is a kind of match type questions where you might get two separate answers, sort of like maybe the word and then the definition type of question. You have to match the word to the definition, something like that anyway. Or you might just get a strict question, type in the answer, that sort of questions. Now, they are all online, which means, you know, obviously you have to be a computer or laptop. I've not tried accessing iCMAs on my phone or iPad. I don't want to mess it up. So I'll always go through the computer for my iCMAs, and that would be my advice to anyone, would be to go through the iCMAs on the computer. One big benefit of iCMAs are that you can go onto the iCMAs anytime you want, do the questions that you can do there and then exit and then come back to it later. It's all saved. There's no strict requirements in terms of not having your book open. You could be sat there with your book in hand, all of your notes. No one's checking on you. It's not a timed thing. It's literally go on, do whatever questions you can. If you're struggling with a question, you can skip it, come back to it. The only thing is that some iCMA questions is a one answer and done. Sometimes you get up to like 3 tries at it. This again, it varies from unit and question to question. Some questions might just be one answer done. It usually lets you know whether you've got multiple tries or not. If it is a question that has multiple tries, the marks it will give you when you get correct obviously go down after every try. So don't just go for and just try and guess it, because you might go down from 1 mark for the question down to half a mark for the question, or even like a third of the mark for the question. So always try to get it first time. Now, what makes this different to a TMA as well is that iCMAs, because they're a lot looser with the rules. Like I say, you can save and quit, you can have your books open, etc., etc. They tend to be not worth nearly as much as what a TMA or EMA might be worth. For example, I think for like maths, where a TMA might be worth like 25% or like 20%, an iCMA was like worth like 3 or 5% of your overall grade and stuff. I would advise you to try it and, you know, get it done and try and do the best you can, obviously. But just be aware that it's not worth as much as the TMA. So if it ever comes down to it where you need to pick somehow between going a few hours in iCMA and not so much time in the TMA, or vice versa, then I would always advise you to spend more time on your TMA than your iCMA. That being said, it's not often they're both due in at the same time. It's usually alternate. so usually you have plenty of time to do both. But yes, they're not worth as much as TMAs. If they are still worth something, it's a try. One more thing to bear in mind is that not all modules have iCMAs. I've got a module this year that has absolutely no iCMAs, just has 3 TMAs and an exam done. I have another module that has, I believe, 5. Yeah, sorry, I've got a whiteboard above with all the dates on it. It's got 5 iCMAs and 3 TMAs and an exam. So yeah, don't worry too much. Like I say, iCMAs are pretty straightforward, but not every module will have an iCMA. And the last thing I would like to remind people, I'm pretty sure you get told this for like as soon as you join, but iCMA is because it's all online and computer marked, hence the name. Your tutor has nothing to do with it, which also means that there's strictly no extensions to it. As soon as it hits midnight on the day it was due in, I'll say it's cut off, it's done. That's that. There's no extensions to it. If you forgot to do it, you forgot to do it. You will get no marks for it. There's nothing the tutors can do. So I would suggest that as soon as the iCMA is open, that you go and attempt to do the questions you can whilst you're studying. Because obviously you can save and quit as much as you want. So say there's several units, you just like 1 to 5 for an iCMA. As soon as you've done unit 1, go through and do the unit 1 questions on the iCMA so it's fresh in your mind, because not only is it fresh in your mind so you're more likely to get it correct, but also you're spending less time in one go on the iCMA and you're less likely to just completely forget to do the iCMA and end up not submitting anything. Once you've finished the iCMA, you have to make sure you do press submit. Apparently they get people that don't press submit, that just complete all the questions and never submit. Again, as soon as it hits past that midnight, you've not submitted it. Don't matter if you've done all the questions or not, it will be a strict fail. So, as a brief recap, strict deadline, so make sure you at least attempt what you can do and submit it. You can save and quit as much as you like. You can sit there with your book open and do it. It is all on the computer. It is usually just typed in answers with some maybe multiple choice or match questions. There might be others. I don't know. That's just ones that I've come across. Not every module will have them. And also, they're not worth as much as TMAs. So if it really ever does come down to it, I would spend more time on your TMA if you can. But again, they tend to be spread out. So do try and do it the best you can, even though it's not worth as much, because it still counts towards your grade. And for all we know, that extra couple of questions that you get right might just make all the difference. So that's been a pretty quick video. I don't know. If you've got any questions about iCMAs at all, just ask me in this video, and I will reply to your comments, or if I need to remake this video because this video is terrible, I will remake a new and better video. Thank you so much for watching. All my links are in the description. Any other questions at all, maybe not even iCMAs, just anything at all, just let me know and I'll either reply to you or I'll say that I'm doing a video on it like I did for Emma. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Adios.